Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry, and tonight I'm going to play some more Fabled Lands. Do not fear, it has not been abandoned. I did take a little bit of a break for a while though, because I was just getting really into Solasta and enjoying playing it quite a lot. But hey, we're back now. Now, when last we left off, Fenya, our wandering vagabond, ran into a bit of trouble. She lost all her equipment and money, and the only realistic way to come back from that would be sailing back and forth between Yellowport and the Isle of the Druids and hoping to repeatedly pick up bags of pearls and then get enough to purchase a cargo to then sail around and trade and eventually build up enough money to buy new equipment again. And that seems like a very, very boring kind of content to watch, so I thought I'd start again with a new character. And this time I'm going to set myself what I like to call the Warrior Challenge. And the Warrior Challenge basically means playing the warrior. Now we have difficulty modes now. We have Explorer, start with +1 in all abilities, +6 stamina, more money in your pouch, and a free resurrection deal. Odds on lucky rolls are in your favour, and you will not lose your equipment when resurrected. This seems remarkably forgiving. We have Classic, which is the normal difficulty, and we have Iron Man, which is like being hard. You know, it's your typical traditional, you know, one save, you lose it if you die. Now, because things can occasionally cock up with recording software or whatever, I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with Classic because it's what we're all used to. Now, why do I call the Warrior Challenge a challenge? Mostly it's because some people on the forums were saying the Warrior was borderline unplayable and really weak and just got killed all the time. Now, there's an element of that, and I'd like to discuss it, but first I'm going to get in. We're going to call him Lorga. Yeah. And let's just get straight in there, and I'll then discuss what I'm planning on doing as I do it. Now, I have attempted the Warrior Challenge previously, off camera, and actually succeeded quite well. So, chances are I won't be anywhere near as lucky this time. Here we go. It's all about the Castle of the Dragon Knights. The approach of dawn has turned the sky a grey-green like jade. The sea is a luminous pane of silver. Holding the tiller of your sailing boat, you keep your gaze fixed on the glittering constellation known as the Spider. It marks the north, and by keeping it to port, you know you are still on course. The sun appears in a trembling burst of red fire at the rim of the world. Slowly, the chill of night gives way to brazen warmth. You lick your parched lips. There is a little water sloshing in the bottom of the barrel by your feet, but not enough to see you through another day. Sealed in a scroll case tucked into your jerkin is the parchment map your grandfather gave you on his deathbed. You remember his stirring tales of far sea voyages, of kingdoms beyond the western horizon, of sorcerous islands and ruined palaces filled with treasure. As a child, you dreamed of nothing else but the magical quests that were in store if you, too, became an adventurer. You never expected to die in an open boat before your adventures even began. Securing the tiller, you unroll the map and study it again. You hardly need to. Every detail is etched into your memory by now. According to the reckoning, you should have reached the east coast of Harkuna, the great northern continent, days ago. A pasty grey blob splatters onto the map. After a moment of stunned surprise, you look up and curse the seagulls circling directly overhead. Then it strikes you. Where there's a seagull, there must be land. You leap to your feet and scan the horizon. The boat wobbles as you rise so rapidly. Sure enough, a line of white cliffs lie a league to the north. Have you been sailing along the coast all this time without realizing the mainland was so close? Steering towards the cliffs, you feel the boat judder against rough waves. A howling wind whips plumes of spindrift across the sea. Breakers pile the high cliffs. The tiller is yanked out of your hands. The little boat is spun around, out of control, and goes plunging in towards the coast. You leap clear at the last second. There is a snap of timber, the roaring crescendo of the waves, and then silence as you go under. Striking out wildly, you try to swim clear of the razor-sharp rocks. For a while, the undertow threatens to drag you down, then suddenly a wave catches you and flings you contemptuously onto the beach. It's time to begin your adventure. Battered and bedraggled, you lie gasping for breath until you hear someone walking along the shore towards you. Wary of danger, you lose no time in getting to your feet. Confronting you is an old man clad in a dirty loincloth. His eyes have a feverish bright look about them that is suggestive of either a mystic or a madman.
"Well, well, well, what have we here, friends?"
asks the man. He seems to be talking to someone next to him, although you're certain he is alone.
"Looks like a washed-up old adventurer to me," he says in answer to his own question. "All wet and out of luck."
He carries on having a conversation that quickly turns into a heated debate. He is clearly quite mad. Excuse me, you shout above the hubbub in an attempt to grab the old man's attention. He stops and stares at you. Is this the Isle of the Druids? You ask impatiently.
"Indeed it is," says the old man. "I see that you are from a far land, so it is up to me to welcome you to Harkuna. But I think you may have much to do here, as it is written in the stars that someone like you would come. Your destiny awaits you. Follow me, young adventurer."
The old man turns smartly about and begins walking up a path towards some hill. You can see just some sort of monolithic stone structure atop one of them. In fact, you can just see some sort of monolithic stone structure atop one of them. Now, a very, very important part of the warrior challenge is stamina management. The warrior is first and foremost good at fighting. However, given the way the combat system works in this game, the warrior will end up taking lots of damage in combat. Now, at this point, I'd like to bring up a rather significant difference between this computer game and the original books, which is this damage attribute that all weapons have. In the original books, you would roll 2 dice and add your combat stat, and that would be your attack value. You would compare that to the defense value of the target, and the difference would be the amount of damage you would do. This does mean that if the warrior was attacking an identical version of himself, he would roll 2 dice and get a value from 9 to 19. Subtract 8 from that, and he would be doing 1 to 11 points of damage, guaranteed every single time. Weapons did not have a damage value. Instead, they simply had their combat bonus, which would apply to the combat stat, both offensive and defensive. That's the tricky part. Armor gives a defensive bonus, and would therefore raise the defense, and the defense would literally be your combat stat plus your armor plus your weapon stat, right? So having fixed damage values means that while the chance of dealing damage is the same as in the original books, the amount of damage dealt is different, because previously armor acted as both a damage avoidance mechanic and a damage mitigation mechanic, whereas in this version it works only as a damage avoidance mechanic. The damage dealt is regardless of how high the defense actually is. So for example, if this warrior was attacking someone with a defense of 15, he could not deal more than 4 damage. But under this new system with a damage stat, he can still deal up to 6 damage. This means that as the warrior's defense grows quite high, he's still taking the same amount of damage every time he gets hit, rendering his stamina rather vulnerable and rather more important. So one of the key things to the warrior challenge is accepting that while we're very good at combat, we're not very good at anything else. So there's a lot of risk avoidance here, and because stamina management is important, we absolutely need to get the healing potion. You find a small vial holding a reddish concoction. You bless your good fortune when you recognize it is a healing potion, and we will take that. Come on, I'll show you the gates of the world, the old man babbles, and we shall follow him. So the importance of the healing potion is because there are 2 rather nasty fights that we can get into on this island, and if we're going to survive either of those fights, we're going to need that healing potion. During your short trip, the old man regales you with tales of your destiny and fate, continuously arguing with himself as he does so. You reach a hill covered with a circle of large obsidian standing stones. Despite the bitter wind that blows across these hills, the stones are unweathered and seem almost newly lain. Here are the gates of the world, says the mad old man. The stones are laid out in a way that they form 3 archways, each carven with mystic symbols and runes of power. Each gate will take you to a part of the world of Harkuna, though I know not where, explains the old man. Abruptly he turns around and sets off down the hill, babbling to himself. His voice fades as he descends the hill, leaving you alone with the brooding stones and the howling wind. There are 3 stone gates engraved with ancient runes. Each gate is marked with a name: Yellowport, Marlock City, and Wishport. From here you can see the coast and the whole island, which is heavily forested. We're not going to go through one of the archways. You decide to explore the island further and ponder where to go next. You have a clear view from the top of the hill of the northern parts of the island, and you notice a previously unknown to you road that snakes along the cliff tops. Now, so what do we need for the warrior? We need lots of money, because the warrior excels in combat but isn't that much better than any of the other character classes. So here's the bit a lot of people might not immediately understand, but the early actions of the warrior are to actually avoid combat as much as possible. It's not about being good in a fight, it's about knowing when to use it and when not to use it. So we need to do 2 things. We need to go fight the werebore and fight the bandits on the coastal road. We are doing this for the money. Fighting either the werebore or the bandits will involve taking a lot of damage, and so we're going to have to drink our potion of healing in the bandit fight if we want to live. We might be able to defeat the werebore without using it. It would be nice to do the ghoul quest as well. However, that is going to involve like scouting, magic, sanctity. We're likely to get the ghoul disease if we do it, so we might have to go away and come back here. Let's go to the trading post. The trading post is a small village set up here by enterprising settlers from the mainland. Its main export appears to be the furs from the forest. The mayor, a fat, genial fellow who greets you personally, insists that one day the trading post will be a thriving town. There's not a lot here yet, however. A small market, a quay, the settlers' houses, and a shrine to Lacuna, the huntress, goddess of nature, which we will now visit. So, we will take damage fighting on the northern road and also going into the forest to try and start the ranger wayfarer quest for the druids. The reason we want to start that is it's a stat boost quest, and we need to look at all the stat boosts for the warrior. We can essentially get, like, I think 2 points of scouting possibly out of it. We also want to get to the mainland and go deal with the dreaded Blood Thursday beast for the equipment, which we might have to sell. It's all about getting the money, starting money for the warrior to boost up his non-combat capabilities, get him some better armor, and get all of these items down here that will be increasing non-combat stats. Also, hey, on this side as well, you know, basically anything we can. So it's a long, slow grind, but it's a calculated grind. And when we get into a fight, we will enjoy using tactical assessments and stunning blow. The shrine is set in a wooded grove. Birds twitter in the trees, and a deer darts away into the forest at your approach. A priestess is tending a low altar where food and drink has been laid out in honor of Lacuna, the goddess of the wilderness. She is the patron of hunters, trappers, woodsmen, and all those who seek oneness with nature. The priestess, dressed in silken robes and wearing a wreath of oak leaves, says, "I have need of an adventurer like yourself. For arcane reasons involving the secret mysteries of Lacuna, I need the tusk of a boar, a were-boar in fact. Hunt down one and bring me its tusk. In return, I will teach you how to be a better scout. We will absolutely accept this mission." So, all of our starting money is now reserved for resting in town and recovering our health, because we will be losing a lot of it. You are on the coastal road that snakes along the windswept cliff tops in the north of the Isle of Druids. Oh lovely, we get attacked by highwaymen, that's perfect. 2 brigands leap out from hiding and menace you with their swords. One is behind you, one in front. "Give it up," they advise. "Money's not worth getting killed over." Well, we will absolutely charge into combat, and it's gonna hurt. They have an accomplice in hiding who shoots you with an arrow. You lose 3 stamina. The 3rd brigand then leaps up to join his comrades. That's awesome, let's keep on fighting. We got shot for 3 points. That really is going to make this fight hurt. In fact, yeah, that's going to be horrible. We may die. So it is very easy to fail this early stage. You prepare to teach these brigands some manners. So, the warrior is not about fighting any more often than any of the other heroes. It's about enjoying the fighting. It's about saying, this is the part of the game that I like. First off, I don't know what the range on his crossbow is. What have I here? Tactical assessment. Able to explode, +2 offense. Doesn't affect my defense at all. Stunning blow deals half damage. So yeah, it deals 3 damage out of my 1 to 6 damage, but that's a guaranteed 3, so it's not a 1 or a 2. It also stuns the enemy. Pushes them back a space. Stun from rounds, so they're not going to take any action. So first off, I don't know what his range is. If his range is limited, I want to back to here and just take the defend action. Okay, I now know that I was not in range. I need you to come a little closer, my dear, so I'm going to defend again. And now, tactical assessment. Can I defend? I cannot defend. I'm going to stay here to make her come to me. And then, I'm going to attack. That wasn't good enough. So, I'm going to drink my potion and attack again. Oh, that was bad. Okay, I think I've lost now. Yeah, that's going to be really tricky. Right, so I need a stunning blow here. And a move to there. Move up to here, hit him. Perfect. And I die. And there you have it. That's how easy it is to lose. So I'm going to just rush through that again. Yeah, I is deaded. Why is I not deaded? Oh no. Oh no, that's really bad. Took on my gear, unplayable. Yeah, that's annoying. Well, I'll start again. So, it is an incredibly difficult challenge, and as I said, it's very... Taking that free damage at the start of the fight almost sealed it for me. I've seen the crossbow deal 1 point instead. Absolutely need the potion. Follow just to see the area. And the goal is to fight and defeat them. It is possible, but it's challenging. Yes, I take the quest. And I'll go on up the coastal road. No, my luck now, I won't meet them for quite some time. Now, ironically, being attacked by the wereball, we can manage a lot better. There's only one enemy, only one incoming attack, so I'm going to move to here and end my turn. I'm going to move to there, and I don't have the action points, okay. Stunning blow, and then hit him again, at which point, there we go, right, that was nice and easy. So I will take both these things. I may very well have to sell the spear, but look, I'm damaged a bit. I couldn't survive a fight with the bandits now, but I can go to the forest and spend some time looking for the druids. It's all about the stamina management at this point. The trees are closely packed, leaning together as if in conference, whispering quietly among themselves. Birds twitter in the distance, and the slivers of sunlight lance down through the misty gloom, or musty gloom. As you proceed along a forest track, you think you hear a rustle in the bushes. Later, you spot a shadowy figure darting through the trees, or was it your imagination? An animal's snuffling sound right behind you makes you spin around, but there is nothing there. And we now have to make a difficult scouting check. Soon you realize you are completely lost in this strange magical forest. You will wander around for days, barely able to find enough food and water. Lose 2 stamina, go back out to the coast. You make your way around the coast. The interior of the island appears to be heavily forested. After a while, however, you come to a bay in which a couple of ships are anchored. You see the trading post, so we can afford to go there once more. But let's go get our quest reward first. The priestess, who's wearing the skin of a wolf and is covered in red paint, welcomes you gleefully. At last, the task of a rare boar. Now the ceremony can go ahead. The priestess rewards you with knowledge. This knowledge will make our searching in the woods easier. So let's absolutely go there. I could have looked into the blessing, but I imagine it was expensive. So we're going to try again. Now we only need a 7 instead of a 6. So You struggle deeper into the forest until you come to a thick wall of impenetrable thorn bushes. Circling it, you find there is a break in the hedge, but it is filled by a large tree. To your surprise, a face forms in the trunk and speaks in a woody voice. "None can pass. Begone, human." I'm not going to attack the tree. I'm hurt. So I'm going to try this. It won't be easy. You explain what a tree lover you are and that your heart has always been at home in the forest. You portray yourself as the greenest adventurer ever. Oh, wow. Okay. "Oh, well, I suppose I could let one such as you through," says the tree thoughtfully. Then it uproots itself with a great tearing sound and shuffles off out of the way. "There you go," says the tree. "You may pass." You walk through the thorny bush gate. Beyond, you find several huge oak trees whose branches are so big that they are able to support the homes of many people, and we shall visit the City of Trees. "Welcome to the City of the Trees," says a passing woman dressed in the garb of a druid. "The city has been built amid the branches of several mighty oaks. Ladders run up and down the trees to houses that perch like nests in the branches. You are not allowed into any houses, but the druids allow you to barter at the market. Yes, the ladders are not allowed into any of the houses. That makes total sense. You are brought before the druid's leader, the Oak Druid, a bearded fellow with earth and leaves all tangled up in his hair. He asks you to perform a service for them. "Take this oak staff to the Willow Druid in the forest of Larun. The sacred grove where he lives will be hard to find, but I am sure you can do it. The Willow Druid will give you something to bring back to me. When you return with it, I will make your techniques of tracking and your wilderness lore better." We will accept this quest, but we will not be completing it anytime soon. You accept the task at hand. You remind yourself to take the oak staff on the way out. And now, we're going back to the trading post, where we will go to the inn and rest to recover all our stamina. Now, we got 11 shards worth of healing to try and duff up those coastal bandits with. Okay. Attacked by a wereboar again! Oh! Well, this is new. So you can repeat. Okay, well look, why don't you just stay there? I'll go tactical assessment. And go to here. Then I'm gonna bash you one. Bash you twice. Third time. Oh dear, this is starting to get expensive. There we go. Oh, now we're getting money. So we're going to get all our stamina back. We'll visit the marketplace and say, hey look, I can sell this. That extra tusk is a problem. I've never encountered the wereboar twice before. It's a problem because I can't get rid of it. Hey, hi woman, perfect, let's fight them. Free stamina is bad. Okay, look, this works out nicely. Are you in... Ooh, okay. So I want to go all the way up to here. Just make it harder for the crossbowmen, you know? Right, 4 and 4, that's not ideal. That's... Oh, I should have stayed there. Okay. Hey look, I'm actually quite healthy. Sure, let's just not do that. Can I kill you? Yes, I can! It's like can I kick you, but not quite the same. Right. This is absolutely potion time. And hitting time. Oh, that's lovely. Mate, you're dead. Now, did that for rewards? Obviously. Searching the bodies of the brigands, you find a suit of leather armor, 1 suit of mail, a couple of bolts, a sword, and a purse containing 37 shards. Well, I'm gonna take all those things. So now, I have slightly better armor, which can raise my defense to 9. Also, a second sword, which I can sell. This, I need to be able to let this go. Drop. Yes. Yes. I'm dropping it. I've already completed the quest. Right, so we're going to go back to the trading post and say, we've got some money now and things we can sell. Please, please buy our things. Do I sell this spear? Quite possibly, but look, 214 shards. That's great. So, I stop. I heal. I leave. And I go back to the Standing Stones and pass through all the way to Yellowport. You step through the archway. Immediately the symbols on the stone begin to glow with red-hot energy. Your hair stands on end, what little hair this warrior has. A crackling nimbus of blue-white force engulfs you, and the sky darkens, and thunder and lightning crash and clash and leap across the heavens. Suddenly your vision fades and everything goes black. When your sight returns, you'll find yourself at the gates of a large city set on an ochre-coloured river. A vile stink of brimstone permeates the air. You wrinkle your face up in disgust and gag involuntarily. "Welcome to Yellowport," says a passing merchant. And here we are at the oft familiar Yellowport. Yellowport is the second largest city in Saqqara. It is mainly a trading town and is known for its exotic goods from distant Ankon Konu way to the south. The stinking river brings rich deposits of sulfur from the Lake of the Sea Dragon down to the town, where it is extracted and stored in the large waterfront warehouses by the Merchants Guild. From here, the minerals are exported all over Harkoona. And indeed, from here the mineral is exported all over Harkoona. Only one mineral, not multiples. Unfortunately, all that sulfur has its drawbacks. The stink is abominable, and much of the city has a yellowish hue. The river is so full of sulfur that it is virtually useless as a source of food or of drinking water. However, the demand for sulfur, especially from the sorcerers' guilds, is great. Politically, much has changed in the past few years. The old and corrupt king of Saqqara, Corim VII, has been deposed and executed in a military coup. General Grieve Marlock and the army now control Saqqara. The old council of Yellowport has been indefinitely dissolved, and a provost marshal, Marlowe's Marlock, the general's brother, appointed as military governor of the town. To leave Yellowport by sea, buy or sell ships and cargo, go to the harbour master. So I'm thinking Lorga would approve of this military coup. It's not that he approves of the king being deposed so much as he approves of the strong general taking charge of government, making a decisive action. And Marlowe's Marlock, essentially a mini-king, a local ruler, replacing the whole council, a single dictatorial figure making decisions and listening to advisors, rather than, things being done to death by committee, is something a warrior could get behind with his military bearing and upbringing. Now, we can actually afford this right now, instead of going to deal with that. However, I have some other ideas. I think I want to come up here and start trying to buy some of these stat items. I can't remember how much they are. But this is probably a good place to leave the episode. I hope you've all enjoyed this one here. Even if I did whiffle on a bit about the nature of the warrior challenge and, you know, combat management, stamina management early on, I hope I didn't bore you all too much with that. And I will look forward to seeing you all in the next one. I'm going to say bye-bye for now, though, and cheerio, everyone!